Welcome to the neighborhood. This week's lesson, Jesus chooses his disciples. Let's go, kids. Hello, kids. You guessed it. I'm still vibing and happy and excited about being in the New Testament. We're learning about Jesus Christ, our Savior, our rescuer. Oh my goodness, kids. We have our own rescuer. We have our own superhero, right? And it's Jesus. He did so much for us. He's continuing to do things for us. Oh, I'm excited, kids. All right. This week's lesson is Jesus chooses his disciples. So let me ask you a question. Do you have a lot of friends? And whether you have a lot or a little, how did you choose your friends? What did you think about? What did you consider when you said, hey, I think I want this person to be my friend, to walk with me, to talk with me, to share some of the things that I do, right? Or we can share some things together. Well, this week we're going to learn how Jesus chose his disciples. All right, very good story, kids. Let's go. All right, so in the last lesson, we talked about Jesus' birth. Well, this lesson starts where Jesus is an adult now, and he is continuing to tell people about God. That's the kind of friends we need, kids. We need those friends that are not going to only talk to us about God, but they're going to talk to other people about the power of God, right? So Jesus began to tell people about God, but guess what? He knew he had a lot of work to do, and he couldn't do it by himself. So he went off to find helpers. Well, as Jesus walked along the lake, he saw some fishermen doing what fishermen do, out catching fish. And he called to them and he said, "Come follow me. I will make you fishers of people." Well, what does that mean? Well, when fishermen are out, what do? They catch fish, right? Well, Jesus is going to teach his friends, his disciples, on how to catch those people and tell them about the goodness of the Lord. So right away, the fishermen left their boats and they began to follow Jesus. Their names were Peter, Andrew, James, and John. Well, later, Jesus met a tax collector. Tax collector, they handle all the money. And his name was Matthew. His job was to get the tax money from the people and give it to the king. And guess what? Matthew quit his job to follow Jesus too. Jesus chose some more people. Their names were Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, and another man named James. Thaddeus, Simon, and Judas joined them too. We're going to learn a story about Judas, kids. Now Jesus had 12 new followers, and he called them disciples. And disciples were personal followers of Jesus. And you know what? Jesus taught them all about the goodness of God, the love of God, the power of God, and the fact that God will never leave us. So what's the faith in this story, kids? Well, the faith lies in that friendship circle that Jesus created. That circle of men who heard what he had to say about God, and guess what they did? They went out and they spread the news, the good news, kids. So I'll ask you again, how many friends do you have? How many people are in your circle that you can talk to about God? That you can say, hey, you know what God did for me? How many people like that are in your circle, right? And check this out, kids. You don't have to have a lot of friends. Dr. Iris is an old woman, and it took me a long time to figure out one or two good friends, one or two people that are going to be in your corner, that are going to support you, be nice to you, be kind to you, and above all else, talk to you about the goodness of God, the goodness of Jesus, our Savior, our rescuer, our greatest superhero, kids. You can have faith in that. You can have faith in that. So take a moment to think about your friend circle and make sure that you've chosen the ones that you know are going to be there with you through the good times, the bad times, and the God times. Hi, kids. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I know I did. And listen, remember this week. Take a moment to look around at your friends, at your circle of friends. Make sure you have people around you that are going to understand and respect your love of God, your belief in God, your belief in the power of the good news that the shepherds spread last week. Jesus is here. Our Savior has come. Those are the kind of friends you need in your circle, kids. All right. Listen, I am Dr. Iris, and I thank you so much for tuning in this week. I have a few things to tell you. Number one, you are awesome because our amazing God made you that way. The second thing is, faith is your superpower. Walk it out every single day. And the third thing is, I love you, kids, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have an amazing week. Our Savior is here. Bye-bye, kids.